Sean Spicer, you go straight to the point that I raised last night. I thought the Republicans were being far too cocky about their chances against her. Harris is not a complete idiot, although I admit she presents as one. She has done some, rather impressive things in the past, not lately though. She has raised $81 million US in just 24 hours for her campaign. Listen, how serious a danger is she really to Donald Trump?
Very. I mean, I'm with you, Andrew. I think we see eye to eye despite all the water that's between us right now. The bottom line is this race has shifted. Look, is Donald Trump still the prohibitive favorite? Absolutely. Is it still his race to lose? Absolutely. But make no mistake about it, the dynamic has changed. The biggest issue for so many voters, especially on the Democratic side in independents, was the mental acuity and the ability to serve as president that Joe Biden presented. Kamala Harris takes that right off the table. Now you have a different set of issues to go after her on: her policies, her belief, her experience, her record, the record at them as a team, her failure to secure the border. There's a huge list. But Republicans who don't take her seriously do so at their own peril. This will be a much closer race. She is going to get a sugar high of a bump in the polls, especially after she picks her vice president. It will come back down. But at the end of the day, anybody that doesn't fully appreciate that hundreds of millions of dollars remaking this woman into whatever she wants to be, whatever. And that's the other point that I would make, is that for so many people, whether it's people like you and me, the people who watch your show or my podcast, we're following the news. We know about Kamala Harris. We know about her record. But I would challenge anyone in the United States to walk down the city or town that you're from and ask the next 20 people if they know who she is. And I would argue that probably maybe 10 of them say, yeah, I know her. I think she's the vice president. But ask them to go an inch deep. Tell me something she's done. And it's only the people who are really following the day-to-day evolution of politics that might be able to name something. The rest of folks, again, it's not a very high-profile position in our country. And so a lot of Americans are going to say, I've heard of her, I might know her name, but that's it. And so hundreds of millions of dollars of advertising remaking her can make a huge difference, positive or negative. And that's why I'm saying Republicans need to understand that the dynamic of this race has vastly changed and that we need to get on it quickly and define her as a candidate.
She has got a lot of room to reinvent herself, in fact, to invent herself. I think that she's been a shapeshifter all along, an opportunist, you might say. As a prosecutor, she was boasting, she was tough on crime. In Joe Biden's team, she was actually doing the opposite, raising bail money for Black Lives Matter's rioters. Early in her career, she was stressing her Indian roots. Now she's, being hailed as the African-American. She's married a religious Jewish man. Now she's tougher on Israel than Joe Biden and won't even meet Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister, on his visit to Washington, which starts now. She's a shapeshifter, and she could change, I think, as you suggest, from being perceived as an airhead into a safe bet.
Yeah, I think the Trump campaign should play the tape back of exactly what you described and understand that. She has been tough on crime. She's been weak on crime. I mean, she has gone all over the place on every single issue, depending on the office that she's seeking and the immediate goal that she's trying to achieve. And nothing will change it. And the fact of the matter is that no one's going to remember her record as a DA in California or the attorney general in California or even the position she took on senator. So she's going to get out there and redefine herself. And then, by the way, just so we're clear, my guess is that she either picks Mark Kelly, the senator from Arizona, or Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania, as her running mate. Once that happens, then they'll be able to inject an entire new set of principles and policies that they'll say are different than the Biden-Harris ones. And so the ability to shapeshift and take on new positions is going to evolve multiple times in the next 30 days. So that's why I think, my warning is clear. Anyone who doesn't think that this is going to be a much different and tougher race is sadly mistaken.